Hello, welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast. My name is Mirella,
And I'm Zoe.
and today we're going to watch and talk about episode 4 of Vice Versa. Episode 4, episode 4, episode 4.
You're so excited, aren't you?
Of course.
Is episode 4 a good episode?
Well, it's an episode 4 and it's Vice Versa, so honestly, I don't really remember much of what's happening here, but I remember several scenes that really I like. Oh, actually, I do. Yeah, I do, and I do have some stuff to. We will have some stuff to discuss because they're not very simple to understand. I feel like because the characters are like fucking up and they're being very confused and confusing. So it's gonna be fun.
So I'm just trying to remember what happened last episode. So last episode was the pink episode, wasn't it?
Soft blush.
Yeah. And we basically had them falling around the couple and talking about love and the bath scene together.
Yeah.
This is also the scene where he gets drunk, though, too, isn't it? Or was that the previous episode?
Yes. That's the scene where he goes back to his old ways and then decides to try to do his best in this life.
Yeah. And makes up with the friend. Yeah, makes up with the friend and everything. Okay, so that was last episode. Okay, all right. Now I'm up to speed as to where we're up to.
Okay.
Should we go watch it?
Let's go watch it.
Okay.
Part 1. Zoe, I'm so in love with this show. It's not funny.
You took a really long time. Did you watch it like multiple times or something?
No, I was making notes.
I was like, I've lost her. She's fallen down the well.
It's an episode 4. You must understand.
She's never to be seen of again.
You know, and there's so many things happen that you know, have so much meaning, but you understand it once you rewatch it. There are things that it's easy to understand that they have meaning, even when you're watching it for the first time. But a lot of things, a lot of lines, a lot of things happen that just like so filled with like foreshadowing and just it's so frustrating. I kind of want you to have your own like second, or maybe make another podcast for Vice Versa, rewatching with you, so you rewatch it and react to everything again. Because it gets better.
Can we get through one watch of it first? My initial thoughts when it first started was, holy crap, the first bit is 22 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know that I've ever seen a first part be that long. Like, I remember talking about it at length when it was like 19 minutes. I was like, 22 minutes? How many ads is in this thing? And then there were no ads, and I was like, wait, what? 22 minutes of just like scene?
It looks like it's a thing for this series. The first part is always long.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it was unexpected, and as I said, I was expecting to, after the credits had finished, have like 10 advertisements or something, and then we got none. And I was like,
we got one product placement scene.
Oh, in the actual episode, yeah, there was a product placement, but like,
yeah,
like, you know, the ads at the end, there were none.
Mm-hmm.
And because, you know, we talked about this before, and you said, oh, maybe the bits are longer because they do like 3 or 4 ads, and they normally do. And as I said, when I saw 22 minutes, I was like, geez, how many ads is there going to be? And then there were none. And I was like, I sat up a little bit straighter and was like, okay, it's about to get serious.
It got serious for me. You did lose me because I was like falling down the rabbit hole and just realizing how in love I am with this series and how much I love this episode, because I forgot a lot of things, and when it started I was like, it is an episode 4, you know. It was like a me yes, and me falling in love with a series episode as well.
Mm. Well, it's funny too because like we had that theory that we started talking about, I think back when we were doing Dangerous Romance, that episode 4 is the falling in love series episode. Episode 6 is the kind of confession episode, like like all the angst before the confession episode, and all of that kind of stuff. And we had all these theories as like what happened when. And it's so funny because in this first part, they're literally telling us that this is the falling in love episode. Like a bunch of
Well,
times they talk about falling in love.
I feel like it's not so much falling in love because it's not like they did not feel anything for each other until this point and then they fell in love in this episode. It's more like I am falling in love with this series in episode 4. Like, it's like slowly, and then pum, and you're done. Like you're
I don't
obsessed.
know. Like I kind of want to
Yeah.
argue that with you actually a little bit because you've been saying pretty much since you've been watching this that they've been falling in love, and I'm not totally disagreeing with that either. But this is the first time that I've seen Tale like acknowledging that there's something happening feelings wise. Like Pun, sure, like you saw that like pretty much from the first time Tully was like nice to him. He was like, oh, could this be my person? Like straight away you saw that. But this is the first time that I feel Tully's like, oh, wait, what? And we're getting to actually see his reaction to what's going on.
Yes, and
so maybe
also
this is his falling
maybe
in
like
love episode.
maybe we should fall in love. Like they even said like maybe we should fall in love. Like yes, it's very kind of on the nose. Well, I was thinking about this because I was also thinking about episode 4, fall in love, me fall in love, blah, 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 and I thought back at Not Me and how in Not Me don't really have this feeling with episode 4, and I think it's probably because its main focus is not the love story. It doesn't feel like that, and this probably makes it be structured a bit differently, not like a romance series. It doesn't function by the same rules. That's why it feels a bit, different. Not a bit, completely different, actually.
Well, see, I could disagree with that as well because I do feel like the episode 4 felt like the falling in love episode for me, mainly just because I'm getting my character names, trying to remember what I'm saying. Because White is getting to see all these insights about Sean, like he's they're letting each other in little bits, little increments. I don't know. I still see
I
it.
feel like it might be with you. With your view and Not Me, it might be confirmation bias because you're looking for it and this is why you're seeing it.
No, but I saw it before. That's why when is it 5 happens? Yeah, episode 5 when we have there's a scene in episode 5 that we're going to get where he comes back to the room and him and Sean fight and everyone was like, I don't understand, and Sean was like, I don't understand, and I was like, yes. And then I was like, wait, why does no one understand? I saw it, but when I was watching it the first time. So yeah, so I don't think it's the confirmation. I was like, I already noticed things when I watched it the first time for Not Me. But
yeah, but you notice, but it's not that much the feeling of episode 4 being the falling in love episode, as obvious as it is here in this episode, or as obvious as it was in Last Twilight, or as obvious as it was in Dangerous Romance.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, as I said, it's different because it was building from the first time they met with Not Me. Like, and this is the same. You are right. Like, I agree with your part where you're saying like it's been happening the whole time. From Poon's point of view, I haven't seen it from Tale. This is the first time I've seen Tale. Besides, like, have like affection or like oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for?
Care.
Kind of, but not really. Like a cross between like empathy and care, I guess. Like not concern is the wrong one, but like he has these feelings of.
I feel like it's probably he did, but I think this is the first time he acknowledges that he's having these thoughts.
I
It's the
don't think.
first time you see it on his face that, oh God, he's like, oh, is it really happening to me?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I
so
think it
far he's
maybe.
been fighting against it and he's been denying. But this
Yeah.
time he's like, oh, is this really happening? I think it's happening.
Yeah, I think maybe it's not
He
so much
opens up.
that. I don't know that it's necessarily he was denying. I think it was just that he wasn't paying attention, and now he's paying attention. Something is
Maybe.
shifted, and now he's like, oh, whether it was maybe it
Mhm.
was the bathtub. Being naked in a
Maybe.
bathtub with a guy will like change things for you. Um,
His heart has been undusted, so yeah.
yeah, yeah. He saw the truth and Poon's naked bits. So like now he now he can't look away. No, you were right too. On the nose, actually, I looked it up because I couldn't help myself. It means like, yeah, exactly right. So no, yeah, okay. Obvious and true, basically. I don't know why I thought it meant something else. Anyway, that's not important. Um
Yeah, so
yeah,
we
so
start in a restaurant and the friends are together and there was a bit of blue in the background. I think it may be some kind of foreshadowing for something. And at the same time, it was really
I
cute.
like how you're like, I think it might be.
I don't
You know
know. I've
it's
never watched
you
the series before. I just fell in love with it.
it's so
I don't know
funny
what
because
you're talking about.
I never noticed the blue, right? So but the fact that you're just like, oh, maybe it's some kind of foreshadowing. I'm like, okay, so something
There
bad is
was
going to happen.
big blue like circles of light. I don't know what they were, but it was pretty big, like in the background. And
I
then
never noticed
also
them.
very cute on the table. They were eating pink eggs, and there were pink tissues as well, like little details that just very cute. I don't think I noticed that before.
Mm. So in that respect, I never saw it, but in that respect, it's like if you were describing a scene to me based on what we know about the colors without me
Hmm.
seeing it, because even though I watched it, I never saw it. I never noticed. I mean, I noticed the pink egg, and that was it. Um,
Hmm.
is that right there in their immediate circle right now? Everything is good. Everything is love and happy and whatever. And then, but there's like sadness looming over.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
I love it's just like maybe it's some foreshadowing. I hope you guys listening to this were also amused by that, because it's like, seriously, really, maybe, okay, definitely something bad is happening. Thank you. Okay,
not
continue.
necessarily. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not innocent sounding enough to pull that one off. So okay, so they're sitting around
That's
and they're
very
talking.
sad to hear. Anyway, so they are talking about their team on how to call it. And U suggests end credits, and Pin suggests friend credits. Friends could go through thick and thin together, which is it's very interesting that he is the one who suggests this idea, and it makes it look like he's the one who appreciates this dynamic most, and he's the one who's been thinking about their bond.
No, I must admit, when he mentioned about like till the end, I was like, once again, I got sad, because I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember, like in previous podcasts, I talked about this idea of him going back, and I was like, um, Tess, no, Tess is Om's character, isn't it? Or
Yeah. Done.
Tan better be making friends for him, because he's gonna get so invested in the friendships here, and then to go back and have nothing is really, really sad and heartbreaking for me. So I when he said end, I got sad. Even though like in this instance he was talking about it in a positive way, like that friends, that this is something that the way he said it was positive, not negative, but I was like, nah, it's gonna
But
end.
it is like trying to like making a wish, like trying to make it happen. But I was thinking, that I have been thinking about the similarity between Vice Versa and The Good Place.
Mm-hmm.
And I made notes and everything, and I think I'm going to talk about it later, not right now. Some stuff needs to happen, and I need to fill you in regarding The Good Place. But the basics of what's going on, like, we already pretty much are on the same page about this, right? That we think they must change, they must learn a lesson, something needs to happen for them to, even like Boone mentioned, maybe what if you need to fall in love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they are in this better world where they can become better versions of themselves. What held them back from being the people that they are in this world, in their own world? And for Boone, it was circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
It was the fact that he was an orphan, the fact that he was famous, the fact that he could not bond with anyone because he was isolated, right? And it made him behave and view the world in a certain way. And also maybe the fact that he did not have the right person. So if it's circumstance for Putin, is it really reasonable to expect for Dan to change his life in his, original world?
I feel like, first off, this is making me sad that you're saying this because it's making it suggest that like maybe he doesn't. But like, I feel like there's a big difference between their personalities though as well.
Mm-hmm.
Between Poon and Tun's personalities, there's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Tun is somebody who knows how to make friends. For starters, he has friends. He has people in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have that skill set and you're put in situations, your circumstances, may affect things, but it's also down to how you, as you said, he's isolated because of circumstances, but also like once you accept those circumstances, if you sort of you take that into yourself, you know what I mean? So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into like things
But
like victim blaming or whatever, but do you know what I mean? It would surprise me to learn that Tun hadn't made and built relationships in the world that he's gone to.
but it's complicated. It's complicated for him because he's also a famous person, and for example, maybe Tan would feel like he is messing with his life and affecting his public image too much if he thinks that that's the most important thing in Poon's life.
Maybe. But
Anyway,
the
so let's move
it's
on.
a bit tricky because obviously you know the answers, I don't know the answers to. It's hard for me to theorize on something that I already know that you know the answer to.
Yeah. It's like I already got my explanation for why things happen in the way that they happen.
Mm-hmm.
But when I noticed and wrote down the similarities between The Good Place and vice versa, and I wrote down circumstance for Poon, I was not thinking about Tan and what he did in Poon's life. I completely forgot. I'm not really thinking about that. That's not my focus. You think about them more, so much more than I do. You think about Tess. You think about what Tan should do or would do in Poon's life. I'm not that interested about that. So when I wrote that down, I was just thinking about Poon.
I think the reason why I'm interested, though, is there's a reason why they've connected. The four of them are connected. You know, there's a reason why they've each switched lives. Like it's not a random thing, because if it was, random, then they could be switched with anyone else. Like they're in the people they're in for a reason, I think. So to me, I feel like it is important to know some stuff about Tan and Tess because, like, they're part of their story. I mean, right now they're living their lives, so. And living their lives is how they're able to get some equal ground. How they're how they're able to fall in love.
But at the same time, their story is different. Tan is not a person who must learn how to make connections.
No,
That is not his lesson. That is not something that he must do probably to get back to his own world.
but what I'm saying is it's still interesting to me, like why? Like why is it that Tan and Pooin are the ones that switch? Like what is it that's missing from each of their lives that they're able to learn from one another's lives? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's, to me, that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously it's a little bit more obvious, I feel like, from the standpoint of Tale and Tess, because
Mm-hmm.
Tess basically had everything that Tale ever wanted, but
Yeah.
it's made him appreciate the things that he wasn't paying attention to, like his family and his
Mm-hmm.
friends, and the fact
Mm-hmm.
that it was his life.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, his journey and his reasonings are a little bit more obvious. What Tess will make from that is, I'm guessing that he's going from someone who had everything, and including money and a lot of family, a lot of friends who cared about him. He's going to go and get some of that, but he's not going to have the money, or it's not going to be as easy for him. But I'm curious I am curious for Ton, like, because I'm like, yeah. Anyway.
What if he had, the friends and the family and everything, like maybe similar to Tale, but for Tale he had to find the right person. But for Tan, maybe he had all these things, but what he wanted was the money and the fame and everything. And when he got into Poon's life, he had all that, but what he wanted was his own life back and his friends and his family.
Maybe it may be that, because he's striving for something, isn't he? Like, Tan is definitely a character who is, I mean, having all of those jobs, and it's him as well, isn't it, who says about, like, making everybody sort of like eat their words about them
Mm-hmm.
when they become famous and everything. So he's almost obsessive with it. So the
Yeah.
realities of, as you said, learning the realities of being able to realize that, like, it's definitely a be careful what you wish for kind of situation when you
Mm-hmm.
become famous. And also, I think, and just because you're famous or you have a lot of money or whatever doesn't mean your problems go away. But I guess
Mm-hmm.
I guess from their perspective as well, obviously they're going to be each other's portkeys in the other universe. Tess and Tan, I'm assuming. That's the whole point of this, right? So, and they already have that history, so that they're gonna have to rely on each other and sort their shit out, basically, which they never did in their own world.
All right, so let's move on.
You just,
Yeah.
I get so suspicious when you just go quiet like that. It freaks me out.
We'll talk about it later. I don't think there's more we can say about this right now. So they go to an abandoned building
Oh my,
because
yeah, because Up
Up
reckons he's got
rented.
this studio.
Yes, he rented a rooftop.
But,
I
like,
like this scene.
the thing with this though is, like, they go through so many spaces, like so many rooms that would
Mhm.
have worked as a studio. Like, they just needed to be cleaned or whatever.
Mhm.
Through all of these things to get to this, like, weird, like, pop-up structure right on the top of the rooftop. Like, a good gust of wind would blow that off, honestly. But it
They
did
wanted
remind
to go
me
on
of,
the rooftop, reaching
yeah.
for the stars.
Yeah, it did remind me of the rooftop scenes in that from Not
Yep,
Me.
exactly. When they were climbing on that
Ladder.
staircase, certainly.
Mm.
Yeah. And also, I like the scene where they're going to that place, like they're, climbing, going through all those rooms, and there's a voiceover. Like we see them that they're not talking, they're just moving, blah, 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 but the voiceover of them, like, why did you rent this? You should have told us, blah, blah. I liked how they did it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then we had the credit scenes, and it makes me intro credits, and it makes me so emotional. I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god, this is so pretty.
the structure too is pink that they're working in. Like they're literally
Of course.
bathed in pink light. Mm-hmm.
The episode is called Deep Magenta, and what I had this thought that maybe deep magenta is the color of Pun's passion. It's a type of pink, right? It's not okay.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
really pink.
No, it is. It is in the pink family. Yes.
Yeah. So episode 3 and 4 are both pink episodes, and this one is more serious. Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Then we move on to 2 weeks later, and they are discussing the script and they are trying to find good lines. And Boone suggests a line from Together from their own world. And Tally is concerned that it's copyright infringement. He wants to be honest and original, and Boone is like, meh, it doesn't really matter. He's more flexible. The friends
Well,
go
it's
away.
not so much that it's yes, it's that, but it's also that he says he doesn't know how to write about romance. It's not that he's like, I don't care. It's more like he's like, I don't know what else
Not
to
an
say.
expert, not an expert in romance. No, I mean I don't care because really, like Tele asks, "Is this copyright infringement?" I don't think, and you understand where he's coming from, and you feel like, oh, Boone is copying ideas. But if you logically think, like you think about it, it's from another world. It really does not matter. It's not like
No.
the rules function for a system. You cannot apply the same rules to another system. Like they're not connected. There's no way to like the laws, that those laws function for that world. So he's right. It's not breaking the rules. It's actually all right to do that, basically, as
Well, it
weird
doesn't
as it
exist.
seems.
It doesn't exist in that world, so
Yeah,
technically, it's not. It's an
yeah,
original thought in that world anyway.
yeah. And so
Because I mean,
Talay
okay,
said,
I'm gonna get philosophical here because who's to say that ideas that we have, like if you've ever had a dream or something and you wake up and you're like, wow, I just had this dream and it's such a good idea, and you write it down. It's like for a story or a song or like whatever. Like we all get
Mhm.
creative, insights from different things. What's not to say that that didn't come from somewhere else? Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like where do thoughts come from anyway? So
a
in that
connection you
respect,
just had with another version of yourself from another universe, from a parallel
exactly.
universe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, like who knows? When you sleep, maybe you connect. Like maybe everybody
yeah.
syncs up and like my thoughts and their thoughts and it gets mixed up and you wake up with bits and pieces. I mean, if you think about what happens when you dream, that actually sounds like it could be a possible like thing that would happen because I mean so let's face it, dreams are fucked up. Like I mean not all the time, but generally they're pretty weird. Like weird shit happens in them that would never happen in your world or in our
That's
world,
a
let's say.
harrowing idea, considering the dreams that I just remember I had remembered ahead.
Oh yeah,
That's fucked up, though.
I've had some really weird fucked up stuff too. But yeah, like but at the same time it's an interesting concept, isn't it? Like
Oh
maybe
my
there is
god,
a
someone should
version.
write a book
Yeah,
based on this.
maybe there is a
Great idea.
version. Maybe there is a version of us that is living that fucked up existence. You
Yikes.
know? Yep.
Maybe there are
So
books written based on this idea because it
I
sounds.
yeah, I don't know. But it's like
Yeah.
I remember having one like where, the entire time I had blood on my hands, like whether it was symbolic or what, I don't know. But it's like imagine if that's a version of you that exists out there. There's an evil Zoe somewhere.
What have you done, me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Talay says that there's a scene where the guy seduces the girl and he wants it to be more swoon worthy. And that's when Poon says he's not an expert at love. So and then he remembers they talk about a scene that he played. And of course, he's going to show it again. He's not going to talk about it. And
Mm-hmm.
he plays the scene and gets into Talay's personal space. And he tries to unnerve him. She tries to like seduce him, I guess, right? But the problem is that Tale is ready. He's mentally prepared this time, so he does not react the way Poon wants him to. He's like, this is seductive already. Do I need to blush? And Poon
Well, I
take
think it's very obvious that he's acting. Do you know what I mean? Like, so he's just, instead he plays along.
yeah. Well, yeah. And he takes his hands, Tale's hands into his hands, and like a bit of physical contact, looking down on the hands and then smiling, and then yeah, that's. Well, you can see Tale breathing with his mouth open, and he clearly is affected, but he gets a hold of himself pretty quickly, and he says, like, brushes it off, and like, strain is restrained on my hand. And Poon gets frustrated because Tale is so stoic. And then Tale makes a move on him, basically. Because he thinks he's cute and he wants to tease him.
He says
And
to him, I think you're adorable when you pout.
But even like he says, I'm just strong-minded, like because Poon is like, do you not feel anything at all? And Tale is like, no, you're good. Like no, it's not you, it's me. I do. I feel you're adorable when you pout. And Poon is so affected. I love the scene. They're so sweet. The other way they interact, and then when Poon gets all flustered and hides like behind that, what do you call that thing?
Clipboard.
Yeah, hides behind the clipboard, and like teases him and like imitates him. I'm just like, oh god, they're so cute. I cannot handle them. It's such a sweet scene. Even like it started with them trying to force that, trying to play like the spoon-worthy thing, but it transformed into something that was really like felt really genuine and cute.
It's so funny too that he's hiding behind a clear clipboard with clear paper on it. It's like not that affected, because then of course he starts teasing him about blushing. Like he says, is that acting too, the blush, or is it real? And that of course just makes him even, he's like, well, it's so funny because Spoon's face is like, I'm blushing. Like he had no idea. He's like, I'm so betrayed by my own body. What's going on right now?
Yeah, and then when they leave, Tale calls him Dang. And it feels kind of like,
when he called him Dang, I just like laughed so hard because I think I mentioned that like Dang in like Korean is like wrong. It's like the thing they say when someone's wrong. And so like every time he calls him Dang, that's all I can think about is he's just like, it's, and obviously we know he's teasing him because he told him not to call him that.
That, and maybe he's trying to put a bit of distance between them, because Poon does react like that's what's happening. And then he needs to go to the university, and Poon suggests to drive him there on Popcorn's bike. And then we get the scene on the bike. And
oh no! Wait, hold the phone. That's not what happened.
What happened?
Miss, I've seen this show a million times. Wait, no. I have notes. Okay, so what actually happened was Tale said, give me a ride, Dang. And
Dang.
yeah, Dang. And
oh yeah
and Poon was like, you need to ask me nicely and don't call me Dang, essentially. So he does, and then Poon says to him, and this is the first time that you actually see Tale like, oh shit. Because Poon says to him, as you wish. And that shakes him so badly, and I was like, why is that shaking you so badly? Like it was like,
I think it happens later when he picks him up from the uni. That's when as you wish happens. Is there an as you wish here as well? Because there's an as you wish when he picks him up from the university.
Is it?
Yeah, that's when he looks at him like that.
Oh, okay. I'm sure.
No, you're right. You're right. He asks him like, "Dang, give me a ride." But the as you wish happens a bit later.
Okay, but he says something though in that moment as well that makes him look at him funny. Because there's two moments.
Remember. I remember him being like, calling him like Tan the hottie, because he is like, oh, you want it nicely, I'm gonna like that. And was like, okay. And he
Oh
drives
yeah,
him.
yeah. Okay, yeah. No, you're right. I'm wrong, but we were both right and wrong. Yeah.
Both quite
Okay.
wrong.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's when he's waiting for him. Sorry, I take it back.
Yeah. So then we have the scene on the bike, which is funny, but also Boone is like, my bike, and Tele is like, no, it's not your bike, it's Pacorn's bike. And then we start with the writing on the back, and
I thought
the foreshadowing of the gas running out.
Sorry, the bit with the before sorry, I'm cutting you off, but before before the stuff on the bike, the bit where he was talking about the bike and like how it's like really fuel economic and all that. At first I thought that this was another like product placement. I was like, is this bike like some sort of special bike? Like, is it a Suzuki or a Yamaha? Like, what is this?
Uh-huh.
What are they advertising here? And then I realized, oh no, hang on, it's just like foreshadowing for a scene.
Foreshadowing, and also probably showing that Boone, he gets attached to Tan's stuff.
Yeah.
And to Tan's life. Yeah, and also they're like driving and hugging like boyfriends. I was reminded about scenes from Dangerous Romance, but from episode 10, right? It happened in episode 10 when they're hugging, and this is happening in episode 4 here. Boyfriend bike riding. Anyway, then we get the product placement, and then we get the writing on the back when Tele says thank you, writes thank you, and Boone writes something that Tele first guesses as, I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but something like
I like it.
you.
I like it. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. And then Boone says, no, it's actually, he looks away and it says, actually, no, it's a susu. It's a good luck. And are you sure? And he's like, oh, I must have misunderstood then. And I feel like in this episode, he's like, is he doing this for real? Or is it just, is it just me? Am I seeing things? This is what's happening to him. And again, when he picked it up and as you wish, that was like, is this for real? Is this something that is happening, or is it just me?
Yeah, I feel that too,
So
but I also feel like it was something he wasn't really expecting, because it wasn't the usual flirty thing that Pun usually does, because normally when he does something like that, he's like, his full attention is on Tale to see the reaction he's getting, but he basically says to him, as you wish, and turns away to like move away. Like, so he says it like he really means that. He's not like trying to bait him and see what reaction he gets, because he
the
doesn't
same
stick
here
around
with
for the
Susu.
reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, here the same thing here with Susu. He looks away and says it. It's kind of like he cannot handle being like something is going on that makes him shy.
But like it's like he's not saying it for the reaction. He's just saying it, and so that's why the as you wish thing, I think, shakes Tale, because he's just like, wait, what?
Yeah. And so then we get Tale getting out, leaving the university with his friends, and he doesn't want to go with them because he has a headache. And we see Poon waiting on the bleachers in such a, epic position. Like, it looks very sexy and, like, it's
Tell us
hard
how
for
you
me.
really feel about it, Marilla.
I'm sorry.
I said, tell us how you really feel about it, Marilla.
But like he's so he just, I feel like he thought about what position to take for, like, so he tried multiple positions and decided that one the best made him look more attractive.
Why do I want that scene of like Jimmy being like one leg up, one leg down, like I can so easily see Quinn doing that. So funny.
Yeah. And then it's like he's posing. He's like, oh, I'm here. Look, I'm so like, I don't know. Anyway, so again, that friend, that tall friend, I forget. I need to write it down. What's his name? The name of the tall friend who always, his first reaction is to get into a fight.
I love that you're asking me that, like you think I'm going to have the answer.
Because it's so funny.
The person who once was friends with someone for 3 years and never knew her name. Yeah, I'm gonna know Tessa's like best friend's name. The aggro guy. That's how I refer to him
But
in my
it's so
mind.
funny because he's so triggered and he wants to go fight him, and Tale is holding him back. It's like he's trying to calm him down, but the other one keeps pushing him to go like in the direction of Poon. That was funny. And then they leave, and we get the conversation, and Poon waited for him.
Mm-hmm.
He waited for him. Okay. Is it just me? I'm so in love with this part. I
We
don't
just
know.
need to give Morella like a second to compose herself. I feel like she's very excited.
You need to take the initiative when you feel like I'm stuck like this, because when I get too emotional, like I cannot really speak, I cannot express myself. So this is what's happening.
But it's a lot of fun.
Anyway, yeah, to watch me stutter and being unable to say, speak, say words.
No,
That is fun.
Just the gushing and the like joy in your voice is fun.
Anyway, okay, so they talk, and Spoon asks him how he'd get home, and Tally says he's going to take a taxi, or are you giving me a ride? And then we get the as you wish. So I feel like at this moment, I had just had this thought that like Tally gave him a bit of attention, and Spoon is like, I'm going to cling to that so hard. As if like he's afraid he's going to lose the momentum, he's going to take everything, like dive into that and like hold on to that thing so as hard as he can.
Well, it's funny because like his reaction to the as you wish, as I said, I feel like was because like Tali's reaction, I mean, was because as we mentioned before, it was given without thought, like without ulterior motive. At least that's how it seemed. That's just like how he feels in this moment or whatever. But the
Yeah.
reason why, and it sounds really romantic. It's one of those things that sounds really romantic, and I don't know if it's like that's for everybody or if it's for me and
Mm-hmm.
it's hardwired in me that way. Because when I was a kid, there was a movie called The Princess Bride. I don't know if you're
Mm-hmm.
familiar with it. And in the
I
movie,
watched it, but I don't remember it.
yeah, okay, in the movie, like the hero, his entire thing is like as you wish. Like he
Oh,
says it to the
oh,
girl all the time. Like as you wish, as you wish. Like it happens a bunch.
like
Like
it's like a gentleman-y thing, like a
yeah. Well, in the
knight
movie, when
knight in the shining armor thing, a bit of
sort of,
a
sort of,
chivalry. Uh-huh.
it is. It's kind of
Uh-huh.
mocking in the beginning because, like, in the beginning of the movie, he is like he works on the farm that she like her family owns or something, and so whenever she asks him to do something, like she treats him like a servant or whatever, he
Mm-hmm.
always says to her, "As you wish," but it's like mocking. You know what I mean? Like he's not actually being polite. He's just
Yeah.
but then
Uh-huh.
later on, when they fall in love, it's very much like a romantic as
As
you
you
wish,
wish.
like like I
Uh-huh.
would lay down my life for you or whatever, if you told me
Yeah.
to, that's what would happen. And so when he said as you wish, I like the little kid in me that remembers that movie and remembers thinking that it was like super romantic is like and it's not helped by the way Tale reacted, because I was like, I know why I'm affected. Why are you affected? And then I had a thing, as I said, then I had a thought about it, and I was like, it's because of the way Quinn puts it out there in the universe. Like he's not hanging around to see what reaction he gets. He just said it like, yeah, as you wish, let's go kind of thing. But that's
Uh-huh.
that's kind of there's a bit of power in that.
Mm-hmm. And he does not say it mockingly. He waited for
No,
him there. He clearly
Yes.
wanted to do something for him, with him, and it is
Exactly.
really as you wish for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening is Talei's wish is getting realized for real. That
Mhm.
is exactly what's happening. Yeah. So then they. Oh, but Talei's face though, like there's so much wonder on his face and vulnerability, and I really like his expression in that
Mm.
moment,
Mm.
the way he played it. So then, of course, they run out of gas, and I noticed that Boone still has that writing on the helmet, the good boy writing.
Yeah. Well, I think he did it with like a permanent marker, so I don't think it's coming off anytime soon.
And then they find the place. How is it called? Is it
It's like a
not a
cafe,
garden?
or it's like it's like a cafe, but it's like it's built inside and like part of um like a it's not a greenhouse, but it's like an atrium, where you like would put plants or something. So there's like that whole
Atrium.
section. Yeah, there's that whole section, like the greenhouse, like atrium thing, where it's like all plants around the outside with like the weird fountain table or whatever it is in the middle. And then if you look backwards, there's another part that's exactly the same, only it's got all the tables and chairs and stuff in it, which is obviously the cafe part. But it's very pretty.
It is very pretty and mysterious, as I say. And let's call it greenhouse. So they go there, and Boone instantly decides that that is the place that is the place that inspires him, and that is the place that he wants the characters to meet after they part and fall in love with each other again. And he looks at Talay and is like, will they fall in love with each other if they meet here? And Talay says, I don't know, you wrote it. And Boone wants to play it out so that he can test it on himself. And you get the moment.
Yes,
And the music is so pretty.
them acting out the love scene. Like, really?
Yes, it's really pretty, the music.
Hmm.
And we get that whole moment. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's two characters who meet each other again, and I guess they fall in love with each other, as Poon says.
Mm.
And what's happening in that moment? Like, there are several scenes actually in here in this series where like they're playing something that they're also feeling that. And so what we meant to understand here is that they really do feel the things that the characters are feeling. So of course that's what he tested. He tested if they feel like falling in love in that moment, and he feels that. And Talay looks very, very much affected, and Poon is the one who breaks the moment and runs away, as if it's very easy for him to detach from that, and it's not that easy for Talay. He even like looks back at him, clearly needing a moment to get a hold of himself and figure out what the hell happened.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I had that image in my head, imagining them as celestial, not too big, two objects in the void, in
Mm-hmm.
cosmos. And Talay for me is like an object with a very big mass. Maybe he's like a small object, but very dense, while Poon might be a big object, like maybe made out of gas or something, but his mass is not that big, it's not that dense. So it's very hard to make a heavy object move, like you need a big force. And to
Mm-hmm.
make it stop, it's hard as well. And it's like, this is how Talay's character is. When it's hard to move him from one place to another, but once he starts moving, he's unstoppable. And but it's much easier to move Poon around for him. It's easier to jump from one position to another position, but at the same time he gets caught in the gravity of the heavy object and he cannot escape it anymore. And this is how I feel about their characters. Basically, this is how this moment made me imagine it. Does it make any sense to you, the way I
Yeah.
described it?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. So then They talk about desserts, and we get the my precious scene, and Lynn wants to talk about love and lovers and like when are you going to start dating? Because I am waiting. I guess this is what
Yeah.
I
Well, it's
heard
interesting
in
when you
the
think about like the whole, I guess, well, one of the whole motivations for this show is he sort of like Pun says, like what it like, basically that they've established, or that they've sort of established that, getting back to get back, it's all about love. And it's an interesting thought for a person who is desperate to get back but doesn't really believe in love. It's like, if love is the key, will you do it? And that's essentially what he says to him. And the way he says, "What about if it's me?" And I love
Mhm.
how like Tale is like, "Huh?" Because like he sort of says to him like, like he like kind of almost repeats himself, I think, doesn't he? About like it's almost like Tale's not like, can't believe he actually like just said it, and then he's like, "How about we fall in love with each other?" And it's like, it's so funny because like that is such a, like, who says that?
And
Like,
it sounds very dangerous, yeah, because it's very hard to understand if he means it or he says it like make like let's have an experiment, or if he actually has feeling and this is how he's trying to mask it, or it's who says that, because that's kind of weird. You
yeah,
don't know
it's
how
just,
to react to a question like this.
yeah, well, because like like you either fall in love or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something that
Yeah.
happens. You don't like
Hmm.
make a plan to do it, and like with a specific person. I mean, this comes back to, I guess, a little bit in the earlier episodes where they clearly both wanted to be each other's porky, like to the point where
Hmm.
when they realized that maybe it wasn't them, with the whole girls
Hmm.
and the maze thing and that, and they were like
Hmm.
disappointed. And so they,
Hmm.
they wanted it to be them. And then later on, when it's suggested that maybe they are each other's porky, then then Tale is skeptical. It's too easy,
Hmm.
it's too whatever. But Pun is
Hmm.
thinking about it, and Pun has been thinking about it this whole time, and now he's saying like, and what if it's like soulmates, like love, and like whatever? Shouldn't we be trying? You know what I mean? Like, and it's so funny because you've got this person who, doesn't believe in love or thinks that love is a waste of time, who wants to go back, and potentially love is the key, and you've got this
Yeah.
person who, like, probably also doesn't a little bit believe in love, but like desperately wants to believe in
Yeah.
love, and love might be the key to get back, but doesn't really want to go back. It's so funny. It's so like,
Yeah, it is
the
funny.
irony,
Yes.
the irony is
Yeah.
like hilarious, but also extremely like sad at the same
But
time.
also, yeah. And he says that how does he say it? What maybe we should try?
Yeah.
What is the question that he says?
He says, "How about we fall in love with each other?"
Yeah, and he is the one who clearly does not need this being put out into the world, like how about, because he already is. What
Yeah.
he's saying here is like, please, oh, can you like fall in love? Like can you like come closer, come to me, fall in love with me?
Yeah, and I think also it's a matter of like wanting the love, maybe not wanting what comes with it, but like willing to risk it.
Hmm.
And also, so in effect, he knows that Tale wants to go back and doesn't want love, but is he willing to risk love to get back? Like, it's a very interesting question.
It is. It is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And then that leads us to part 2. So let's go do that.
Let's go. Part two. So the friends arrived to the place. Oh, did that happen? I forgot. How does it start?
It started with 4 ads. Yeah, no, they're at the cafe and then the friends arrive. Yeah.
Yeah, and they are excited about the place, and Up reveals the folders that he spent the team's budget on, that has the team's new mascot, Boon's drawing. I mean, Tali's
Tale.
drawing of Boon's face. And then we switch to Tali bonding with Tessa's friends. And
Mhm.
I get the feeling that he felt it was time to do that in order to maintain their relationship. So he asked them out for a drink. And he is there to have a drink with them, and then his secret lover makes an appearance.
Yeah, I love
And
how his friend says, I did not think your secret lover would appear
Zebra.
Zebra, yeah.
And then we see Poon waving at him, and he's so flirty.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. He's there, and Tally asks him why, and Poon says, "I'm hitting on you." And Tally pushes him away because he thinks Poon is playing with him. He thinks Poon is experimenting. He thinks he's teasing him. And then we get the names of the friends. Thank you. So Fuse is the one who tries to bribe Poon to get him to be hired as an actor. And then Kita is the other one, the one who always wants to start a fight.
And so I was thinking at the time that it would have been funnier if they had the names were the opposite, because then it could have been a bit of a pun and a bit of a joke, the fact that Fuse had a short fuse and was always wanting to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because Fuse is tall too. I mean, Kita is tall.
What is Fuse?
Oh, well, Fuse is okay. So the English word for fuse is a fuse is multiple meanings. It can be like an electrical component, but it also is if you have dynamite or something, or like a candle, you have the wick, but you can also call it a fuse, or so you can say it, usually something that burns quickly or that blows quickly. There's a saying, it's like a short fuse, and so people, when they get aggro, you might say, if they were someone who gets easily irritated, that person has a short fuse. So it's kind of just making a joke, is that if his name was Fuse, you could nickname him Short Fuse, and it would be funny because he's tall and also because he gets angry easily. So
right.
I feel like it was a missed opportunity calling the other guy Fuse and calling him Kita.
So then we get them trying to include Poon and give him a drink, but Tale protests because he says popcorn is lightweight, and so he takes the drink away from Poon. And he's like, "Do you not remember the last time you drunk? You woke up in the police station. Don't you remember?" And Poon is like, "Oh yeah, I remember." Talek, darling.
Basically,
what he remembers is calling him darling.
Yeah, he remembered calling Tale darling. Yeah. It's so funny because when we were watching this scene, I love this scene. I actually watched this scene multiple times. I went back and kept watching it. It's so funny because once again I was thinking about Tess and Tan, and when they come back, if they're a couple, Tess's friends aren't really going to be surprised. because they've just witnessed this flirting that's happening here. And also because Poon keeps basically saying darling, I'm trying to flirt with you and all this sort of stuff. And then you've got Tale basically drinking all of his drinks, which is very K-drama of him. The guy is trying to protect the girl's virtue or whatever by drinking all the alcohol.
And Poon tries to get the drink, but also he likes the fact that Telly does that for him because he keeps smiling and he's pleased with the fact that Telly took this upon himself to rescue him to
the whole thing the whole thing just feels flirty as fuck, and I just love how Tessa's friends are like, and then Tale passes out.
Yep. And so then Tale wakes up in Tan's place.
With Tan on top of him.
Belly to belly.
Yeah,
which is
once again shirtless. But at least no one's wearing shoes in this scene.
I was thinking, how did that happen for him? Like, he must have been so tired to fall asleep like that. Like, he probably carried Tele around, probably took care of him while he threw up. He even washed
Yeah.
his shirt,
Well, he was
and then he
he was
was so exhausted.
yeah. Well,
He
he had
carried him
to.
to the bed and fell with him. Like when at the end he placed
Well,
him, and he was not able to get
I was
up
thinking,
anymore.
I was thinking probably what actually happened because he had in his hand like a pink cloth. So I'm thinking he was probably giving him a sponge bath because, like, hey, what Thai BL would be complete without some sort of indication that a sponge bath took place. And so he was probably
Yeah,
wiping him down, like they do, and then just was sitting next to him and just like fell asleep and fell over because that kind of would work as well. But yeah, it's
maybe.
just yeah, then we have Tale like freaking out because once
And
again
he's
they're in
like,
bed together.
"Why did you take me here?" And Poon answers, "Because I'm hitting on you." And Tale does not take that seriously at all. And then we see that Tale, Poon has his bedroom under a huge aquarium, and Bex wrote me one day. Bex, as by all accounts, this doesn't make sense, from Tumblr, and she said, "Isn't it heartbreaking how he has this huge aquarium on top of his room, and Tale ended up in that world because he drowned, and
Drowned. Yeah,
got
I was
pulled by the
thinking that.
correct."
It's interesting though. It's that I had the same thought when I was watching it, but it's interesting because that's not his reaction to it. He thinks it's beautiful.
Mhm.
You see fascination in him, and because Pun is like obsessively watching him in this scene.
But also, besides the fact that it's an aquarium and whatever, like, Poon is always lit up by blue color, Poon's room. So there's always
Sadness
a bit of
surrounding him.
sadness
Mm.
over him. Yeah.
It's interesting though too because it's a bit of a juxtaposition. Oh my god, I'm never going to be able to say this word properly. Juxtaposition. The idea of this, like as you said, blue, like sadness, light. The fact that water was above them, but it's full of life as well. You see the fish and everything. So it's like this really
Mhm.
kind of interesting metaphor that they're using here.
And then, yeah, Tale starts roaming around his room, inspecting his room, investigating, which reminded me of episode 2 of Last Twilight, but never mind. And he starts getting self-conscious because Tale notices that he reads, like, what is that?
I can't remember. He did say the word. Oh, it's a type of like manga or anime, but it's got a specific name, but I can't think what they said now.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "There aren't mine, they're Bakorn's." And then he sees some pink pants, and he's like, "No, that's Bakorn's." And then he notices the choco pies, and what he says is, "They're Bakorn's favorites, and they are mine too now."
Mm.
So, all right. And then we get the
Product
scene
placement.
with the chicks. Oh, yeah. Whatever. I found it interesting that he says it's Pacorn's favorite, and now they're mine too. It's like he just
Absorbing it.
becomes, absorbs everything.
It's funny
All.
that he's like, and I mean, part of this is the product placement of it as well. But
Mhm.
it's interesting that like the books, he was like embarrassed that he was reading them, so he's like, they're not mine. And the pink underwear or whatever,
Mhm.
he's like, that's not mine. But the like snack food, the real like junky snack food, he's like, oh yeah, that's totally mine. Like the thing
Well,
he chose to take notice of.
what if those are actually his? What if that has no connection with Pacorn? What if the books have no connection with the pants have no connection? Like they're actually Poon's choice, but this one was Pacorn's as well, and he accepted it as his choice as well. And maybe this is why those two made him feel uncomfortable. But this one, and that's actually that those two can reveal something about his personality as well. And so then we get the scene where they grab each other by the cheeks and they're being all cute, and
I hate
I
it
don't
when
know
they
what
do
to
that
think.
though. I hate it when they do that in dramas because, like, that shit hurts, man. Like, I have big chubby cheeks, and growing up, people always wanted to grab them. I don't know why. I don't know why people took pleasure out of that. I myself did not take any pleasure out of that and punched a few people. My mum has a story about me, like, decking one of their friends at a barbecue. I was only about, like, 3 or something, and he was like, "Oh, aren't you adorable?" And I punched him in the nose and made his nose bleed because I did not find it cute having my cheeks squished like that because it fucking hurts, right? So,
Okay,
like,
but it depends.
whenever I see them do it, and they pull it like it's like elastic or something, and I'm just like, that has to hurt, right? Like, I don't know. It's not a cute thing to me. So because I have, like, what do you call it? Trauma flashbacks whenever I see it. So I always think it's really weird when they do this in scenes.
I just pulled my cheek, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, it depends. You
Yeah, but did
don't
you
want to do
squish
that
it that
because
hard
it's
and
someone.
pull them out that far? Like, it is like, looks like rubber when they do it to each other. Like, how far can you
It
pull it
depends.
without it?
It depends on how hard you do it, but also it's someone else's hand on your face or your own hands on your face or whatever. It's not the best thing, not the thing that you want to do to your face.
Well,
But
having someone else's hands on my face freaks me out as well because I'm like, I don't know where they've been.
yeah,
I know at least where
exactly.
my hands have been.
So, then Boone suggests Saleh to go get some sleep, and Saleh like okay, and jumps back into Boone's bed and makes himself comfortable, and he's like, yay! Like he feels like it's his home. Like he feels so comfortable in that place. Like there's no, like it's Boone's bed, it's Boone's room, but he just feels like he belongs there. I don't know. I love this. Compare this to episode 2 when they wake up in Tale's bed.
Well, he definitely feels safe, that's for sure.
He does. He trusts him.
Mm.
And then we get a scene where Tale basically asks for comfort.
Sorry, just
What?
a sec before we go on. You're like, what now? Just before we go on, it's like probably doesn't mean anything, but it's something else I noticed in the beginning where we're talking about the scene where he freaked when Poon was there at Tale's apartment in the bedroom, and that he was asleep on the other side of the bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then here he's sleeping on this side of the bed. Like, I don't know that it necessarily means anything, but people generally have a side. Like, most people have a side. I don't. I starfish in the middle, but like most people have a side. And so it's interesting to me that, like, when he was really uncomfortable, he was on this side, and now he's on this side. I'm wondering if that means anything or if it's just a thing. But I did notice it.
Oh, and when he went, yeah. Interesting.
I can't work out if you're like, interesting, I know something, or interesting, you're really weird, why did you bring that up? Anyway, I'm sure we'll find out.
So
you're like a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
And then Tale basically reaches out to Pin for comfort. He asks him, ever since we got here, have you ever been scared of tomorrow? And Pin says yes. And Tale asks, how do you deal with it? And Pin says, I do nothing. And Tale gets a bit disappointed because he clearly wanted a comforting response. He wanted Pin to reassure him, and that didn't happen. And then we get this response from Pin, you already have me here. If there's a problem or fear, you can tell me. I might not be able to fix it, but I'm here, willing to hear you vent. And what it basically means, besides the fact that Pin offers himself to be his person, is that Pin deals with it. Like Tale asked him, how do you deal with it? And Pin says, I do nothing. He deals with it by having Tale
Mm.
Tale is there for him, not solving his problems, but being there for him, being his person. Tale takes away his fear of tomorrow. This is what helps him, and this is what he wants to do for Tale as well.
I feel like it's one of those things, isn't it? Where it's in human nature to want to fix things, like, if you can. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be really conscious when, friends or something are having issues or whatever. Like, I want to be able to fix it if I can, even if it's none of my business or like whatever. I mean, I learned in my early 20s that, like, you should never get involved in other people's relationships, but it's like really like an easy thing to like slide into, because, as I said, once again, you want to try and fix something or help somebody, especially if someone you care about is in pain or is, in this instance, scared or whatever. It's in our nature to want to do that. But that's not what people need most of the time. People just need you to be there. They need you to be there, or they need to know that if they need you, you'll be there. And listening is like half the thing, like he says, I'll be here to listen to like whatever you want to vent about. And that is such a huge thing to offer to somebody. Like, that is like one of the most important things that you can offer somebody is your time. And you don't even have to understand. You don't even have to sympathize. You don't have to empathize. You don't have to have an opinion. You just need to shut up and fucking listen and be there. And that is like a huge thing. So this scene, I really liked it because I like that message. It's such an important thing. And a lot of people don't realize that is like one of the most important things you can offer people. It's way more helpful than like trying to fix someone else's problems. Most people, first off, you can't fix. Generally, most of the time, you can't fix someone else's problems anyway. They're their problems, you know what I mean? Like, even if you can fix them, the underlying cause usually hasn't gone away, or, like, there was a reason for it. Like, this person hasn't learned anything or hasn't achieved anything if you go ahead and go in there and fix it all and make it perfect for them. It doesn't work. Long term, it's not, it's not a good idea. And in actual fact, when you try and get involved in that way, it usually does affect your relationship with that person. Because if they're feeling negative about something and you go in and you're like, I can fix this. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. And you fuck it up for whatever reason. Or even if you don't fuck it up, but they're not satisfied with the result of whatever happens, you're forever linked to that negative space that they're in, that's attached to those memories or whatever. The thing they'll remember is that you were, like, the positive things they'll remember is that you were there for them. They'll know, like, through learned behavior that you're somebody they can count on, you're somebody they can turn to. And that is such a safe space, and it's so valuable. And yeah, I really liked that this scene was sort of, as you said, it's showing that Poon understands what Tale was offering in this, like, being there for him, is like a big thing. And I like as well that he doesn't oversell, because, like, like this idea of, I might not be able to fix it or whatever. Like, clearly he's letting Tale know that, like, he would want to, we would all want to fix the people we love's problems if we could, make life easier, make them hurt less, like, whatever. Like, of course we want to do that. But he's also, like, not promising to do something that he knows is, like, not possible. So I like that, because there's this, it takes away from that idea of, people lie. Like, we lie to people all the time without even meaning to or intending to, by promising things we can't deliver, as well. So I like this. He's clearly thought about it in terms of, like, what his limitations are and, like, what he should be offering, versus what he can offer. So I really liked it. I liked this scene a lot, and I just talked a lot for no reason. But anyway.
I loved your speech. It had to be here. It's great. It's a very beautiful message. But also, it's a parallel to the scene where Tale offered to listen to Poon when he had issues with friends, and he was like, "I will not fix it for you.
Yes,
I cannot
exactly.
fix it for you, but
Yeah, and I think as well when we watched that scene, I think I said then that I really liked that, and that was the reason why I liked it, is because he didn't offer to fix it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a good scene, I think, and it's funny
it
though, this
is.
idea of being scared of tomorrow since being there. Like, weren't they both scared of tomorrow before as well?
Maybe Talay wasn't, because his tomorrow was very well
Well,
planned and
he was
was
hopeful for
rooted.
tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Quinn probably was. I mean,
Hmm.
I know I am sometimes. Depends on what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not scared for tomorrow because tomorrow's Sunday, but I'm probably scared for Monday. Can I be scared a few days in advance? Oh goodness me. I'm like, I'll get
Yeah.
back to you on the dates that I'm scared for.
So then we had a scene where they are with the friends, and we find out that Poon is supposed to be a photographer on Pakorn's friend's wedding, and that Tess was supposed to go with him. So then we're at the wedding, and did you notice there's a big W on the stage, like on the
I thought it
wall?
was two V's. Like, it looks like two
Yeah, I
V's to
think.
me because they're different colors.
Well, I thought it was like a W for wedding, and
Yeah.
also two V's in different shades of pink for vice versa.
Vice versa. Yeah. I
But
saw that.
maybe also both of the characters' names are start with V, or those who are married. But it looks like a W. It does not look like VV. They're overlapping. So
Yeah.
it's a pink wedding, of course.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say pink wedding. I mean, I feel like the W thing could be, as you said, like a W for wedding, or it could be that the people getting married are either, as you said, both V names or both W names,
Oh,
or one is a W and one is a V name, and that hence the different color.
or maybe the
And
husband's name, the family name starts with V, and they're both becoming,
yeah,
whatever.
or it and by doing that as well, obviously they can double as the vice versa. Like, it's a bit of a play on it, I feel like. But yeah, I love the pink, and it's funny because you see Tale come in, and I was like, wow, he looks really good. And then you get a look
Mm-hmm.
at Poon, and I was like, wow, he looks really good. Like, Tale looks good, but he looks really, really good. Like, I like the pinstripe and that, and like, it's the blazer is just a really unusual color, and yeah, they looked really good together as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're like, It's so funny because when they were talking about the photos of the wedding, I was just like, does Quinn even know how to do that? Like, which sounds silly, but not everybody knows how to take a good photo.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's say he can. Let's
say
hope he can.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of those people who are probably good at most things if he like applies
Yeah.
himself to it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of flirting happening in this scene as well, once again.
Yeah.
We get a video package being played. And it's so funny. It's really cute because Tale is like entranced by it. Like, he's just like, wow, this is awesome. He's really excited by it, which is really funny. And he says to Pun, when you get married, you should hire me and I'll make you a video package. And I'm just like, wouldn't it be free if you marry him? And he keeps like sort of pressing it, doesn't he? Like, he words it a bunch of different ways and is trying to get like basically get Pun to agree to the fact that he will hire him. And then he even jokes and he's like, I have what does he say? Like a high wage or something like that. Yeah. And Pun says to him, if it's gonna cost me that much, shouldn't I just marry a colorist? And like completely
problem solved.
Yeah, completely shuts up Tale, and it's so funny. But you know what the pinnacle of this part of the episode is? The pinnacle part of this scene is the bouquet.
Oh yeah, of course. And Pun being like, the MC telling everyone like, the ones who are single, get closer to the stage to catch the bouquet. And Pun is like, do you want to join them? again? Like, don't you want a relationship? Fall in love, fall in love. And Tale is like, nope.
And it's so funny because, like, when of course the bouquet is going to come to Tale because he doesn't want it. I feel like it's one of those things. You're like, I mean, it's so funny. There's this trend on Twitter. I don't know if it's on Tumblr or anywhere else, but I see it on Twitter all the time. You know, this whole, like, things you're afraid of, like, come true or whatever. And so people will be like, I don't want another off-gun show, you know, or, like, whatever, for stuff that they want, you know, they really, really want it. Or, like, I don't want another Jimmy C show. And it's like, yeah, we do. Because they're trying to manifest this thing that they don't want, or like, I'm afraid of, or whatever. And so in these, like, in romantic movies, comedy movies, or whatever, it's always the ones who are like, oh, I'm not interested in, you know, like, I don't want to, you know, my life is a nightmare. I don't want to get married. And then, you know, they catch the bouquet. But the brilliance about this, the reason why I loved this was because as it's coming towards them, like, Tale reacts as, like, he could just step out of the way or just, like, stand there and not catch it and let it fall on the ground. But, like, instead, he does this thing that we do where, like, you put your hands up like something dangerous and scary is coming towards you.
Defending himself.
Yeah, like, this is why I used to play soccer, because I didn't like anything where, like, balls, like, flew at your head or whatever. So I liked, you know, games where the ball was on the ground, sort of thing. So things like basketball, netball, whatever, I was like, yeah, nah. So, like, because I was that person, I was like, hands up, the ball's coming towards my face, you know. And so this idea of him being like, oh no, and, like, he's afraid and, like, it's gonna hurt him. And then the way that Poon catches it, like, he's protecting him. Like, he's just caught something flying towards him. Like, if this was any other show in any other situation, like a drama, a K-drama or something, you know, someone, like, would have thrown, like, a glass bottle or something, and, you know, the guy steps in front of the heroine and catches it, and, you know, like, it's like this, wow, how romantic, that really could have hurt him, you know, that person, or, like, whatever. And it's a bouquet of fucking flowers. Pink ones at that. And he's like, I took the bullet for you, but it's like, now what? Now are you just gonna turn around and hand them to him? Because that's what I would do. You know, are they less scary if I give them to you directly? Like, but the way both of them react in this scene was just so, like, highly comical, but also I just found it really fascinating at the same time. I was just like, really? Is he that afraid of commitment and love and marriage that he's, like, acting like it's someone's, like, thrown a knife at him or something? But the fact that Poon was like, I'll protect you from the flowers.
But also, you know, I think he does not react to things taking him by surprise.
Yeah, maybe because they just said he's such a planner, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, this is not on my schedule. I did not agree to this. I did not sign up for this. I need 5 to 7 working days to get on board. And Poon is just like, I told you I'd be here for you. Let me demonstrate it.
So I guess this is it for part 1 of our reaction discussion for episode 4 or vice versa.
I know.
Is there anything else you want to say?
No. Like,
I'm sorry?
I think, yeah, I just said, what a place to end it. I feel like I have nothing else to say. I'm just, every time I picture Poon catching the bouquet, I don't know whether to, like, blush and be giddy or, like, cringe and laugh out loud.
I love this scene. It's very pretty. Besides the fact that, besides the meaning of everything that's happening, the way it's filmed is very pretty, and the music is also very tentative, and
it is. It's very intimate, this scene. Like, even though they're in a big room with a lot of people and it's a wedding, the dim coloring and everything, like, it's very romantic and it's very intimate. And the way that they're sort of off to the side when everything else is happening and they're having this little conversation, you know, which, I mean, obviously characters always do this, you know, like, they're having you know, they're in their own world or anything, but this really does feel like they're having their own moment, their own, you know, they're in their own little world, their own little bubble. And it's interesting, actually, now that I think about that, they're having this little bubble conversation and then the bouquet is the thing that's like comes and like almost like it's trying to pop their bubble.
Disrupts the peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So I'm curious to see what will be the resolution from like not the resolution, but the like the after effects from like this what seems to be a little thing but clearly is not a little thing.
Yep. So we're going to continue watching. As for our listeners, thank you for hanging out with us. Tell your friends about our podcast, and goodbye for now.
Yeah. And part 2 will be up on Saturday, so look out for that as well.